I think that's the power of Pokemon. They can do pretty much anything with any cards or any movie, and there's just some big Pokemon fans out there that will support it regardless, and I think that that's also, I don't know, there's just something cool about Pokemon. Like,
Exactly.
there's so much nostalgia associated with the brand itself, and so with that they can engage in so many more unique projects and be more experimental with things and still, I don't know, have more space to, like, I guess, I don't know, potentially, like, not be the best product ever, but still have people supporting it. So I think that that's worth a lot.
That's very well said. I mean, because there's people out there that are going. I mean, I'll include myself in that group. The people out there that will be excited about anything Pokemon. You know,
Yeah.
as soon as whenever they announce something, I'm just like, yes, I'm all about it. I'm totally for it. You know, I may not be hooked right away once it comes out, but I'm all for it, definitely. So, all right. So we got that Netflix Mewtwo movie out of the way. You happy, Jordan?
Yes, I'm very happy. You guys, hey, I just want to say, every listener out there who was wondering about you're welcome. This is because of us talking about it that they decided to, like, you know what, let's actually put this on something. And they said Netflix. So now, if you have that, you don't have to pay any more money. You're welcome. That's I'll take credit. Nate will take credit. It's art. Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, so let's go into this. Actually, just dropped probably a few hours ago. So this is like fresh off the press. So we're recording this podcast on Monday, and this will drop on Wednesday. But I don't know if either of you saw this, but Pokemon Center, PokemonCenter.com, is teaming up with Bear Walker to make a line of skateboards.
Whoa.
So
I did not know about that.
Bear Walker is a pretty big name. So this is a pretty intense collaboration. So you can actually go to PokemonCenter.com right now. I'm typing it into my computer, and you just scroll right down, and it says a sweet ride with Bear Walker coming soon. And there is a total of 5 different skateboards to get, featuring some pretty crazy good artwork on them. We got Mewtwo, we got Gengar, of course we got Pikachu, Gyarados, and Charizard. Now, obviously, Venusaur not getting any love.
Yeah,
What's new?
Venusaur never gets love. But they're not for sale yet. This is just the announcement, and you can sign up for the newsletter to get an update when it goes on sale. There's a short little paragraph that says Bear Walker is a master craftsman of carved wood skateboards, and he's partnering with Pokemon Center to create our first series of 5 limited edition 29-inch skateboards. Each skateboard design features one of the world's most popular Pokemon. So this is kind of crazy. I've never been a skateboarder, but I'm kind of wanting to get these.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, like, will these be more of like a collectible thing? It sounds like it's sort of like a limited, they might be more pricey than your average skateboard, and so, like, are people actually going to be using these, or are they going to be purchasing them with the intent of, like, keeping them in, like, mint condition and, like, for collecting purposes?
Well, here's the thing with
I'm going to go with what you said. I'm going to go with option number 2 for me.
Yes, they're gonna be collectibles. Based just.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. They show it with wheels and everything. Yes, you could technically ride them, but the way that it's carved in with the wood on top of, like, the grip tape on the top definitely would make it kind of hard as a traditional. Because I used to skateboard, so as a traditional skateboard, there's really no grip to do many tricks on because it's covered up in beautiful art and different pieces of wood that's, like, multiple layered textures. So to, like, ollie or do any kind of flips, it seems like it'd be pretty difficult on these.
There's definitely some texture on there.
Yeah, there's some depth with the wood to the grip, and I don't think I wouldn't recommend trying it, especially when, like, an average built skateboard, I like at the minimum, the bare minimum of these are going to be each is about $100. But since they're with Bear Walker and they're premium and they're going to be collectible, I expect these to be going probably between 120 and at the highest, the absolute most ridiculous, 200, like per board. And yes, I want them all. I got tagged in a tweet earlier saying, "Hey, I expect to see you making a video about these and opening them," and I'm like, $5K. That's a lot. That's a lot of money, right there. It's a lot of money for these. But they're beautiful. They're really cool. And the key word here is first series of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
So
point.
there's gonna probably be more. And I'm just gonna have a whole room dedicated to skateboards on the wall of just this
Honestly,
artwork.
like I instantly thought like I want to get these, take the wheels off, and then put the boards on the wall in my studio.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be
Yes.
really nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's they're beautiful. Brett Walker did an amazing job on this. This is insane.
Super cool.
Absolutely insane. So, and I do like the choices for the first wave: Mewtwo, Gengar, Pikachu, Gyarados, and Charizard. I feel like that's a very obviously classic Kanto, but I feel like that's a good choice, a good lineup right there.
Yeah, I definitely think these are good ones to start it off with at least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just hope there's a Psyduck one next round.
I'll write in a note.
So Brett Walker, get that Psyduck in there. I'd appreciate it. But I'm as long as these aren't crazy when it comes to price, I'll definitely pick up some.
Nice. Yeah, I'll look into it. It really depends on that price. If it's like, okay, let's get them all, or like, let me get one right now.
Yeah. So
It's really gonna depend.
Jordan, if you had to pick out one, Pikachu, Gengar, Mewtwo, Gyarados, and Charizard.
I feel like in a generic way, it's like the Charizard. It
Okay.
just has such a cool design, but I really dig the Gyarados because it's the only blue one, and he's like only on kind of one side of it, where all the other Pokemon kind of take up the middle of the board. Gyarados kind of just hugs the right side of the board, and it just stands out to me for some reason the most. So it's probably between those two will be the one I'd want to get first.
And Laughing Pikachu, I'm sure you would pick a Pikachu, right?
You know, I'm looking at him right now, and surprisingly, like, as much as I love Pikachu, I think I would go with the Gengar one. It's like, the coloring on it just looks awesome, and I'm, like, not even a huge Gengar fan. Like, I personally, like, I think, like, it's not even on, like, Gengar's not even on my, like, top 10 favorite Pokemon, but I don't know, for some reason that skateboard is, like, really speaks to me. I like the artwork of it, I like the coloring of it, and I just like Gengar's face on it.
That's surprising. I definitely thought you were going to go with the Pikachu. Okay, interesting.
Burning
Okay.
expectations.
The Gengar one is really nice. I like the smile on it, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and those eyes, those menacing Gengar eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. I'd go with the Pikachu. I know that might sound generic of me to say, but
It's a very clean look.
it is,
I
and
like
like
it.
I felt like if I was displaying it in my studio, I feel like it's very Pokemon, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have a room full of Pokemon stuff. You got a Pikachu board up there on the wall. It's very Pokemon.
Which one do y'all think is going to be more popular, Pikachu or Charizard?
Charizard. I just feel like you put Charizard on anything, and it's like, oh yeah.
Honestly,
okay.
Honestly, I'm gonna go on a limb and say Mewtwo.
That's a fair point. I think Mewtwo's interesting as well. If you kind of look at the bottom part of it, where the Psyball, the Psybeam, whatever it's technically called, there's actually more jutted out wood to follow the circle that goes around the wheel. So it actually has a little bit extra like wood carving to it.
I do see that,
expands
yeah.
the base of it. It's very subtle, but it's a little thicker at the bottom than any of the other boards because of that, which is cool. They kept to the design by doing that. So I mean that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's a good point. I think Mewtwo definitely has a shot of being the most popular.
It'll be interesting to see which one sells out first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably still put more money on Charizard, but I'm not going to count out Mewtwo at all. That's a good choice.
We'll have to touch basis on this again once they go up for sale.
That's true. Also, the Pikachu one is the only one that has a little, energy symbol on it.
That's true. Yeah.
So maybe I'm thinking Pikachu also has a pretty fair shot. I think the least two sold ones. Unfortunately, I think the least sold one is going to be the Gengar. I
Good.
think
More for
there's
me, no problem.
That's there you go. You get the whole rest of them. But like that Gyarados one, I think is going to catch some people's eye because it's the one that stands out the most like uniquely to me, just because
Yeah.
it's so different from the others. But I still have money on Charizard.
I was going to
Mewtwo,
look on
and
their
Pikachu.
Instagram and see if they had a date for these, but I don't think they do.
I couldn't find one when I looked earlier. I almost I thought they were for sale at first, and I was like, oh no, they're just announcing it.
Yeah, I think it's just the announcement.
But I'm excited to see when they do drop them. That price point's going to determine.
Oh, okay, wait, I got some info.
Ooh, breaking news.
Okay, this is actually on Bear Walker Official on Instagram.
Ooh, okay.
So it says, this has been in the works for months, so I'm very proud to announce our official collaboration with Pokemon Center. We are releasing 5 Pokemon designs, 150 of each. Do you realize how limited that is?
Oh god, these are going to sell it so quick. It's either you
150
buy it now
of
or
each.
never when they launch.
Complete with a certificate of authenticity.
Wow.
A lot of passion and attention to detail went into what I feel are the best boards to come out of my shop. Each board was approached with the intention to innovate. Series 1 of this collaboration will be available February 11th, 2020.
Ooh, how much? That's what's going to determine it. Like, I'm down. I'm ready to buy at least
With that
one.
low a quantity, it's got to be like a $200 board.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Man.
The craftsmanship is amazing, so $200 is very warranted.
But are you ready to drop $1,000?
I didn't say I was ready to
Almost
drop $1,000. I'm ready to drop 200, maybe 400. I don't know.
Fine. For a video, I'll drop $1,000, okay?
Honestly, like, hearing the quantities now, 150, it almost makes me kind of want to drop the grand. I mean, we're saying that they're going to be $200. We don't know that for sure. So
Yeah, we don't know.
it's kind of making me want the whole set now, realizing that there's 150.
That's crazy, though. Are they going to be released on the Pokemon Center website, you think? Or
Yeah.
where? Okay.
Yeah,
Do you
so
think they're going to,
it's-
like, crash the website? That many people fighting for such a limited amount of boards?
It might, because when Funko teamed up with Pokemon to release a Day with Pikachu stuff, sometimes that freezes the website when they release those every month.
Yeah.
And those are definitely in more quantities than 150.
Yeah.
Those are probably in the quantities of like thousands.
Yeah, and they were still a pain to get. I can only imagine when they do the Eevee line, if they do that Eevee line that's rumored.
Yeah, I mean, so these are going to be on PokemonCenter.com. It's a collaboration between the two, so this is going to be insane. I guess we'll talk about this on the weeks leading up to it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll get Bear Walker on the podcast. I don't know.
Bear, come on, talk about them. Come here, and then bring
Ooh.
free samples.
I might have to send an email out after this. We'll see if we can get Bear Walker on here.
Dun dun dun.
All right, let's go into the next one. We got 2 more things here on the news. One of the things I wanted to talk about real fast is the set evolutions. We all remember the set evolutions, right?
For sure.
Back in XY era, kind of the reprint of base set essentially. You like evolutions there, Jordan?
Love it.
Are you being sarcastic?
No.
Do you like it better than Steam Siege, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Very, very much so.
What did you think about evolutions, Hannah? Oh, Laughing
No, I
Pikachu,
actually-
sorry.
I actually genuinely enjoyed that set. Like, I feel like it brought in so many collectors who, like, were around when Pokemon, like, first released, like, base set, and they hadn't touched Pokemon in so long. And I remember when I was doing unboxings on the channel, I would get so many comments from people saying, like, oh, I used to collect Pokemon, like, back in the day, and then this was the set that, like, brought me back into collecting. And so, I don't know, for that, like, I feel like I have a special appreciation for that set. But, I
Definitely.
don't know, I think from the XY era, it's one of my favorite ones, actually.
Definitely.
Can I put an addendum on my comment? I don't want people to think I just hate this set. I very much enjoyed the set at launch and enjoyed collecting the set. I'm just tired of it in 2020. I'm tired of seeing it.
And that's why
Shoved
I'm
in
about to
things in
talk
2020.
about this.
That's
So,
very
Yeah, so
good.
I did like it. I don't want people
No,
coming after me. I love the set. Okay.
it's but like you said, Laughing Pikachu, it brought a lot of people back into the TCG. It got a lot of people that were collecting back in the 90s, early 2000s, reintroduced back to Pokemon cards or even the Pokemon brand in general. So this definitely was a very revolutionary set in Pokemon TCG history. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because there is a Pokemon content creator on YouTube by the name of Pat Champ Pokemon, and I've actually done a collaboration with Pat Champ Pokemon back in 2018, I think. Extremely, extremely nice guy from the UK, but he attended the toy fair over in, I think it was in London last week, and he had asked them why they were still putting Evolutions packs in box sets. And their reply was, it's still the best-selling Pokemon set of all time.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So still right now, it's the most-selling set.
That's, we got to the bottom of it.
So, and that's from Pat Champ Pokemon on YouTube. So, and I highly recommend you go check out his videos. He does great work. He's always uploading new stuff. So, Pat Champ Pokemon on YouTube, and that's some great information right there, because I didn't know that.
Good.
That's really good information, actually.
So that,
I mean, that makes sense.
It does.
That, you know, does make sense why they, you know, threw it in that Meowth box, made it $30.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was at my local shop the other day, they have the, you know, the Meowth V boxes on the shelf there, and they like, yeah, I can't believe it's $30 because there's a hidden 5th pack in there in the back. They're like, what? It's like, yeah, look, there's a hidden Evolutions in the back to the right, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's how they got that extra.
But you're also,
make it 30 in there.
but to be fair, you're also getting a Pokemon V and a Pokemon V Max in the box.
True.
So usually in the box you can just get one promo. This one you're getting two.
But you also get an Evolutions pack.
Why is Evolutions the extra pack though? Maybe Cosmic Eclipse is the extra pack.
I mean, you're not wrong, but Pokemon still, even ending this generation, going into the new one, they're still including the sets that they have a lot of extra of, right? So like they're throwing in Evolutions, making sense now that it's the highest, you know, the most selling series out there, the set. But they're still, like, in the Sandshrew box, or the Sandslash box that just came out, right? There is a Steam Siege pack in there. And then in an upcoming pin collections that we're getting for Sword and Shield that come with 3 packs, you get 2 packs of Sword and Shield base, and then a Sun and Moon base. I feel like I get Evolutions now, completely. I get it. It's nostalgic, it's bringing people in, it sells a lot. Beautiful. But can we move on from the Steam Siege and the Sun and Moon base already? Because, I'm trying to move past...
I think my thinking behind that is, if I remember correctly, and I could be totally wrong about this, but I think Steam Siege was released around the time Pokemon Go came out. So
yeah, it was in August, right after.
Yeah, so I think there was just a lot printed of Steam Siege to make way for all the Pokemon fans that were coming back into the franchise, or that were being introduced to it for the very first time, so they just wanted to make sure that there was a bunch of stock of it. I don't know, that's just my guess, but I feel like that's a pretty good guess.
I mean, it's a fair assumption, and I think I can even apply that to Sun and Moon base because it's the set right after Evolutions, so for any of the people who just got back into it, I'm sure they just transitioned over into the new stuff right away. So I can